Taylor Swift is relevant. She has been a big part of the music industry since 2006. For at least 16 years, she has been famous for more time than many of her fans have been alive. Pretty impressive if you ask me. She won the Grammy for Album of the Year 3 times, for Fearless, 1989 and Folklore. She is just the fourth person, and the first woman, to win that prestigious Grammy 3 times. And with time, her fan base is only increasing. Swift was #1 trending topic on Twitter and was #3 item in trending Google searches on 21st of October, when her latest album Midnights was released. What is it about Swift that creates loyal fans across generations? And how has she managed to stay relevant and continued to create popular, award-winning music after all these years? 1. Evolution. Few artists have managed to move through genres as smoothly as Swift. Rising to fame at such a young age can be a huge challenge for most young artists, but Swift transitioned in a natural and authentic way. Women in entertainment are discarded in an elephant graveyard at 35, Swift said in her documentary Miss Americana, constantly having to reinvent, constantly finding new facets of yourself that people find to be shiny. This quote perfectly describes Taylor's career, her versatility as an artist. Her country music era is defined by albums, Taylor Swift, Fearless, and Speak Now. It has all the country attributes, southern accent, lovesick lyrics, long blonde curls and cowboy boots. If I continue to write songs about my life, and my life is always changing, then my music will always be changing, Swift said in an interview with USA Today. With fourth album, Red, Swift entered into the pop music world. Music was accompanied with red lipstick and shorter haircut. She began singing about true heartbreak and messy love stories. 2 polar opposite albums came next, Reputation, a dark electropop album dedicated to the people who wronged her, and Lover, an album with vivid pink aesthetic. The folk albums Folklore and Evermore showcase Swift's best lyricism yet and cemented her as an artistic legend. With Midnights, she returns to the pop sound she left in her Lover era, and explores a painful subject, how she is perceived and how she perceives herself. As New York Times described, the songs here are filled with syrupy synths, giving the album an astral, slow-motion effect, as if Swift were trapped in a reverb chamber. Taylor not only changes, but evolves. She follows times and trends, but at the same time stays authentic. Feels like Swift not only feels the pulse of her fans, but her own heart beats in the same frequency. She is never the same. And that sense of unexpectedness and what the next thing is gonna be fascinates us and makes us expect her new era. 2. Easter eggs and games. Another explanation for how the musical artist manages to stay relevant is that she disappears periodically from the public eye. Not being seen all the time brings some sort of mystery and powerful aura. And when she finally makes an appearance, it is full of strategy and Easter eggs that leave her fans wildly speculating. It's really about turning new music into an event for my fans and trying to entertain them in playful, mischievous, clever ways, Swift said in a statement to the Washington Post. Swift was leaving Easter eggs since the very beginning of her career, but her reputation established a new standard of it. In her Look What You Made Me Do music video, she sits on a throne of snakes, which is what Kim Kardashian called Swift in a tweet. You can see a dollar bill next to Swift when she's laying in her diamond bathtub, a likely reference to the sexual assault lawsuit that concluded in August 2017. Taylor Swift accused DJ David Mueller of groping her at a photo op in 2013. She sued him for $1. The jury sided in Swift's favor and Mueller was ordered to send her that small sum. We also see these old Taylors lined up at the end of the video, with one saying, "I would very much like to be excluded from this narrative." Swift wrote the same statement in an Instagram post during her feud with Ye and Kardashian. "I would very much like to be excluded from this narrative, one that I have never asked to be part of, since 2009. With this tactic, she keeps her fans actively engaged in her music. They aren't just listening to her music for the sake of it. They actively participate in her life and art. That brings the feeling of unity within fandom, when they together try to figure out what Taylor planned for them. Then she disappears from the public eye, only to reappear with a clear goal in mind to announce and promote new music for her fans. 3. Undeniable talent. Taylor won multiple awards for songwriting, She undoubtedly is one of the most influential artists of the decade. But what makes her so special is that she has unbelievable storytelling capabilities, creating an immediate relatability with fans of her music. She has been making the music industry better in notable ways throughout the decade. Swift is a very hardworking, self-sufficient artist, as she writes roughly 30% of her music alone and takes a big part in creating the rest of 70. Speak Now is an entirely self-written album that charted on the Billboard Hot 100 for 137 weeks. Swift built her career around her unique ability to pinpoint crucial moments of intimacy and turn them into universal anthems of heartbreak, love, and loss that became soundtracks to real fans' lives. Her lyrics always feel so personal, yet relatable at the same time. Similarly, the opening lines of Swift's All Too Well, "I walked through the door with you. The air was cold, but something about it felt like home somehow, and I left my scarf there at your sister's house, and you still got it in your drawer even now," tell you everything about this doomed relationship and the nostalgia both people involved in it still feel, compressed into a tiny little stanza. 4. Taylor and fans. It's honestly one of the most amazing feelings knowing that there's this group of people that has my back, and that they always show up, Swift said in a 2012 video. "I try to figure out ways all the time to thank them for that." And she has shown enormous gratitude. For example, in December 2014, she made fans' dreams come true when they opened the front door to a huge package full of unique gifts from Swift. One fan even got $1,989 to help pay off student loans, which wasn't the last time she stepped in to help someone with their financial struggles. For example, she helped a pregnant fan purchase a home, donated over $15,000 to a fan whose mom had been in a coma, and sent nearly $5,000 to a fan who couldn't afford tuition and rent. She has a personal relationship with fans, even when she's talking about herself and the strange life of being a celebrity. She brings the conversation back to people who would relate. Her new music releases have become huge events, by forcing fans to stay up until a.m. to discover the very special chaotic surprise that she had for them on Friday. Her fans went through a collective, cathartic experience together. That is bonding, and that is powerful.